Hey everyone, welcome to our tour of the amazing, beautiful Norwegian Prima. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna start here on deck 6. Welcome to the tour. My name is John here from Byte Size Cruises. We're a travel agency just trying to give you the best information possible about cruising so you can plan to go on an amazing cruise vacation. You enter the ship here on deck 6 in the Penrose Atrium. This is a very, very modern, beautiful cruise ship. It's a little bit muted for my taste. I like a little more flair. I like a little more kitsch in my cruise. But this is beautiful. It harkens to like the Celebrity Edge class a little bit. So we're gonna wander around here and just give you a tour of the full ship. It is beautiful. I do love a lot of the spaces. So we will go through here and give you a little shot of everything. As you can see here on deck 6, this is a wide open space. They do have entertainment here during the day and the evening, as you can see there with the little stage set up. And this is kind of your entry point into decks 6, 7, and 8, which kind of harkens to the Breakaway Plus and Breakaway class ships of Norwegian, where they had that central space. Now we're gonna wander into the casino here. This full area of the casino is going to be non-smoking. So when we get around the corners, we'll show you the little smoking area. I do like that it's non-smoking. I understand that people do like to smoke when they gamble, but I think Norwegian does a good job in creating a smoking atmosphere that doesn't interfere with everyone else's kind of enjoyment of not smoking. So I get that some people may get upset that the smoking area is a little bit smaller and it is enclosed, but I kind of actually like that. So it does bleed out a little bit if you're close to the smoking area, but for the most part, you can't smell the smoke at all, which I think is very, very nice. If you've been on other ships that have standard casinos where you have a smoking and non-smoking section, but it's not closed in, the whole place smells like smoke. So very nice size casino here. Plenty of options for standard slots, table games. You see the little players club area where you can go get information about becoming a players club member. If you put your card in the machine and play, you are automatically entered into the players club as well. And then straight back there, you see the Smokers Casino, which is through those doors. As we head back through the casino, we're gonna check out the Belvedere bar here. This is a great space at the back where you can see a bunch of different options. You have a full bar back here. On the left, you're gonna have the Commodore room, which is one of the main dining rooms. And on the right, we have Cagney's, which is one of the specialty dining rooms. So first up, we're gonna take a look at the Commodore room here. So Commodore room, as I said, one of the main dining rooms. On Norwegian, they have two main dining rooms. On the older ships, they have Taste and Savor that are right across from each other. On these newer ships, the Prima and Prima Plus class, they have the Commodore room and Hudson's. They are a deck apart, which I kind of like, since it spreads out the area a bit. I think this is a very elegant dining room. We'll see Hudson shortly, which I think is beautiful. So as we come back out here, you're gonna see the rest of the Belvedere bar here. This is a kind of hustling and bustling place in the evenings when people are waiting for their dinner reservations. Now we're gonna head over here to Cagney's, of course, the standard, very traditional steakhouse on board of most Norwegian cruise ships. I actually like this one. There's a splash of color. It's not as dark as steakhouses usually are, but I do like it. It is super elegant. And like I said, I love the splash of color. I wish there was more of that around the ship. They do have it in certain areas, just not a ton. So then we're gonna pop up to deck 7. However, right here, you're looking down from deck 8. I just wanted to give you a few different perspectives of the theater. This theater is very, very interesting and cool. The seats retract back and it becomes a nightclub or a lounge. Just wanted to give you a few shots so you see the stage here from down on deck 6. Here is the view from deck 7, where they have it like half retracted, so you can see there's a little bit of a fun kind of dinner theater vibe. Then you see the glow party here, where again it's half retracted. And then the 80s party, where the theater is fully retracted. They have this awesome, cool light chandelier in the middle that moves around. Just an amazing stage. The DJ's up there. Just a great, great space. Popping out here on deck 7. All right, so we're gonna wander around here on deck 7, again, looking down into the Penrose atrium everywhere. Plenty of open space here. If I had to nitpick slightly, I do enjoy that they have entertainment in the deck 6 area, open area here. There's just not enough seating, not enough ways to enjoy those games or entertainment there. Here is your guest services area. If you have any questions or anything going on during your cruise, lots of seating here, and this is right outside of Starbucks. So there is a full Starbucks kiosk here. There's also a Starbucks inside of the Indulge food hall, which we'll see in a little bit. So if you do love your Starbucks, you have plenty of opportunities here. We have all the Starbucks swag as well as the Been There mugs with the Prima on them, and Miami or New York, wherever you're going out of, which I think is really cool as well. There's a ton of seating behind that, as well as behind the Starbucks, that you could look out into the ocean, which is beautiful. We're gonna now head down the straightaway here called the Gateway. This is where a lot of the little shop kiosks are. You have your watches, you have your jewelry, you have some swag, some Norwegian swag, and some just kind of cruise wear as we wander down here. These hallways get a little bit tight and busy in the evening, just because there's only one way to get to certain areas. It's not like it winds around, so you have to like go down and come back if you want to get somewhere. Then we continue down here on the right. We are going to take a look at Sid Norman's as we wander through a little bit of the art gallery as well. It's very minimalist on this ship, which I enjoy, the art gallery that is. Sid Norman's great little spot here. It is indeed little, just too small for the entertainment that goes on in here. They have great shows in here. They have moved the Fleetwood Mac Rumor Show out to the main theater, which is fantastic. And then they have the Rock the Prom show and a few other shows in here. During the week, it is a great venue and the cast is amazing. They do a wonderful job. This is just a tiny, tiny space. If you do want to get in here, you have to be there at least an hour or so ahead of time and get in line, which I don't love. I almost wish it was a reserve or reservations type system if it's going to be that crowded, because it's just too small of a space. But very, very good. Same to be said here for the comedy club. Great space, and I understand on a comedy club why you want it to be small. They have a nice little bar in here. It's a very intimate space, but it is way too small. You always know your space is too small when there's actual folding chairs in there. But it doesn't seat, enough people. It seats less than 100 people, which isn't great. Next up here, we have Le Bistro, specialty dining on deck 7 here. I wanted to show you a few different angles of Le Bistro so you can see what I mean about the hallways here. So this is going to be on the opposite side of where the comedy club and everything is, on that main hallway. Le Bistro, traditional French restaurant here on board of Norwegian, one of their flagship specialty dining restaurants. It's a beautiful restaurant and the food is amazing. So if you do enjoy a little bit of a fancier meal, this is a great one for like a birthday or an anniversary, something like that. And when you come out here, I just want to show you that this hallway on the left-hand side doesn't go anywhere. So on the port side, you can't get back to the front. You can only go to the right there and continue up on the starboard side. All right, so now we're back on the starboard side of the ship, headed towards the back of the ship here. You can see we have the cigar lounge there on your left, which we just looked at. This is the Metropolitan Bar. A lot of trivia goes on here. There is some entertainment here in the evening as well. Again, these hallways get a little bit clogged up just because of the sheer volume of people that have to go just one way on the deck here. I understand a little bit of the design, but it is a little confusing. This is Nama Sushi and Sashimi. This is the sushi restaurant, of course. On board, this is specialty dining as well, which means that it costs a little bit extra. All of the Norwegian restaurants now have a cover charge. They don't have a la carte dining. So if you want to go and eat there, you have to pay the cover, and you can eat as much as you want for the most part. You get a few appetizers, one entree, and you can get a few desserts if you'd like. This is Hasuki, which is the teppanyaki restaurant on board of the ship. I'm also going to show you a little bit of the actual teppanyaki so you can kind of get a feel for the vibe here. Tons of fun. It's a good time. We do it on Sail Away. The very back of the ship here, we have Hudson's, which is a beautiful main dining room here. It is, to me, the most beautiful main dining room I've seen on one of the Norwegian ships. They're usually fairly kind of standard and plain. This one is very, very nice. I like it a lot. It is great. And these beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows at the back of the cruise ship just gives you a spectacular view back there. Now we are going to head up to deck 8. Again, we're going to start you right in the Penrose atrium here, so you can kind of look around, get a quick view. Just great space, great meeting space. Gets crowded in the evenings, but it is very, very beautiful here. Again, I wish there was a splash of color. You can see they do it a little bit with the lights, but it is very elegant, and I would say an elevated feel. So we wander out now. We're going to check out Onda by Scarpetta. This is the Italian specialty dining restaurant on board the ship here. It is towards the front, starboard side of the ship. It is huge as well. These specialty dining restaurants are very big. And then we're going to wander down the hall here. Deck 8, very small in the middle, I will say, because there's so much outdoor space on deck 8 here. This is the photo gallery. And then we're going to head into the local, which is the sports bar on board. It's a kind of elevated, very nice sports bar. On the older ships, this is more of like a British pub environment, and now it's definitely more of like a cool upscale sports bar. Huge bar there, little swings you could sit at, tons of TVs, tons of seating here. There is outdoor seating here as well. And then as we continue up, we'll show you the other side of the local as well, where you can actually sit down, have breakfast, lunch, dinner, or late night snacks. The local open just about 23 hours a day. They close for little periods of time just to turn things over quickly, but for the most part, you could eat there just about all day, all night. Again, deck 8 in the middle is a little bit tight because there is a ton of outdoor space, which we're going to look at in a bit. But as we cut over to the other side of the ship here, you will see the seating space of the indoor part of the local, which is very nice. Again, tons of TVs. A decent amount of seating space in here. It's not huge, but it's big enough for, I think, what the crowd is. It does get crowded for certain meals, but it is really nice and the food's great. Here is Los Lobos. This is the Mexican specialty dining on board. To me, the most affordable of the specialty dining, and it's great. I love it. They've gotten rid of this on some of the other ships to expand Cagney's and some of the other restaurants. I love Los Lobos. Again, the splash of color in these specialty dining spaces. I think if they carried this out throughout the entire ship, I would like the look and feel a lot more. It just feels very blah throughout the rest of the ship. It's very pretty and very elegant. But there's something about cruising. I like a little kitschy color in my cruise ships. We're gonna walk here into Indulge Food Hall. These are actual like little food experiences that they have. They're making actual tandoor ovens there where they make bread and your tandoori chicken and those type of things, which is great. In the Indulge Food Hall, this is kind of a movement towards reducing the size of the buffet. These are food truck concepts or small food concepts, basically tapas size things at every one of these restaurants in here. You have a noodle bar, Mexican, Spanish, a dessert bar, a whole bunch of different options here, salads. You sit down, you have a little iPad or tablet in front of you, as you can see on these tables, and you just order whatever you want. You can order a bunch of different plates from different places, and they'll just bring them out as they're ready. This is included in your cruise fare, doesn't cost any extra. And again, it's kind of like a replacement for the buffet, where you can kind of try a bunch of different things, but not have to fight those crowds or get the food yourself. There is your Starbucks kiosk as well. As we head outside, here's the outdoor segment of the Indulge Food Hall. This outdoor space on deck 8 is spectacular. So many places to sit, so many places to just relax, enjoy the ocean, which is what cruising is all about. I love that Norwegian has moved towards getting you closer to the sea. As you see during the day here, if you sit out here and it's lunch or breakfast or dinner time, whatever meal is up, they will have the little tablets out there where you can order your food from and they will bring it out to you. And then you just have a ton of these great like loungers here that are cushioned and beautiful. And then you have loungers here next to these little pools. There's infinity pools on the side of the ship here. Little dip your toes in the pools here with little day beds. All of this is first come, first serve, and it doesn't get awfully crowded out here. These do fill up a little bit, but it doesn't get as crowded as you would think as normally you would see on like the main pool deck. The main pool deck is very small, which we will look at in a bit, which I know people don't love, but there are a lot of options to be close to the water here and to get in a pool or a hot tub or something like that. And you can see here the little infinity pools. They're very, very nice. And again, just they've taken this concept of the waterfront that was on the Breakaway and Breakaway Plus class ships, and they've expanded it to Ocean Boulevard here. It's called a few things as you walk around, La Terrazza, Ocean Walk, Ocean Boulevard, but it is beautiful. There's some art out here and just a ton of outdoor space on deck 8. It does make the interior part of deck 8 feel a little claustrophobic, as I mentioned previously, but I think it's a good trade-off here because of the amazing outdoor space, as long as you're in an area where it's going to be warm or it's not raining. We left out in New York on this cruise in early April, and it was very chilly. Continue out along deck 8 here. They have these really cool overwater glass bridges that you can walk along and actually see to the ocean below, which I think is really cool. It's a fun little thing. I know a lot of cruise ships do this now. On MSC, they have a few ships that do this as well. They have the Bridge of Sighs and a couple spaces on their deck 7 or deck 8 where you walk around and do this as well, but I think it's really cool and it's fun. This is the studio lounge. So if you're sailing by yourself or you're just in one of these studio rooms by yourself, this is the little lounge that you can hang out in that's only accessible to solo travelers. And they have some snacks out pretty much all day, all night. You have a coffee machine in here that is including your cruise fare. And then you have all these different beer, wine, juices, sodas. Now we're gonna head all the way up to deck 17 and check out the Vibe Beach Club. This is an adults only little beach club. There are hot tubs up here. There's no pool. If there was a pool up here, I think this would be one of the coolest things ever. There's a bar up here. They have padded lounge chairs. This is an additional cost for the week. Again, it is adults only, so it's a limited access. They only sell so many passes. But this is a great space if you enjoy being outside all day and you really want to kind of hang out, get your sun, drink outside, not be bothered by any kids, have a little more of an exclusive feel, read a book, whatever it is that you like to do outside. There are umbrellas out here during the day as well. Plenty of these little day beds and different things out here. I think this is a great space. I personally don't love sitting outside all day, so for me it's kind of a waste. But if you do enjoy the outdoors and you don't mind that there's not a pool here, this is a great space. For me, I'd prefer to be inside, especially if the weather's not great. So I prefer the spa thermal suite area where you have like a little kind of waiting pool there and a bunch of different modalities that you can use, and you get loungers, but it is indoors. So it's kind of going to be what you want to spend additional money on if you enjoy indoor or outdoor. The one thing I will make you aware of is it does get a little bit loud out here because, as you can see, that 3-level racetrack is right there. It's not obnoxious, but it is something to think about if you are sensitive to sound and you just don't want to be bothered during the day. And as you pop back out here, this leads you right to the end of the buffet, the little burger bar here, which we will come back to in a few minutes. It's the small little offshoot of the actual buffet, which is called the Surfside Grill. But first, we're gonna take a look at 2 other specialty dining restaurants. Food Republic here on the right, which is an Asian fusion restaurant. and it is huge. So as you come in here, you see there's plenty of tables. You have a little sushi bar, and then it winds all the way around to the back. There is a ton of seating here. Lots of options if you enjoy specialty dining. If you do the more at sea package and you have an interior cabin on a 7-day cruise, you get 1 specialty dining included. If you have a balcony, you do the more at sea, you get 3 specialty dining included. So you get to try these restaurants, which I think is really, really nice. But again, huge space there. See little water slides on the side there, it's fun. Then we're gonna cut out across the hallway here and we are gonna check out Palomar, which is the Mediterranean restaurant on board of Norwegian Prima. This is on only a lot of the newer ships and they're adding it slowly to some of the older ships, replacing Ocean Blue. This is a kind of seafood forward, I would say, restaurant that is Mediterranean and is very, very, very good. Again, along with Le Bistro, this one to me feels a little more elegant. It is very nice, not as fancy as Le Bistro, but the food is really great. Desserts are excellent. Highly recommend if you want to try 1 or 2. This would be definitely on my list of the top 1 or 2 specialty dining restaurants. Nice little bar area, open kitchen concept, and there is even outdoor space in the back here. A lot of the specialty dining restaurants have indoor and outdoor seating. Again, the weather has to be great, of course. But this one here on Prima is really nice as well because it is on the back. Most of them are on the side where you're really exposed to the side of the ship there. It gets a little windy and chilly. But on this in particular, Palomar is in the back here, so you do have some coverage. You're kind of outside, but there are heaters here as well. And this is a very nice one if you wanted to sit outside but not be completely exposed to the elements, which I think is great. It's also overflow seating here during the day if you just want to hang out and eat your food from the buffet or anything. Then we come out to the very, very small main pool deck, which a lot of people complain about. I'm not a giant pool person, so it doesn't bother me, but I can see where it would. This is the entire pool deck. That is the entire pool. There's a bar here. It winds around into the buffet, which we will look at. But all in all, not the largest pool experience. You see the big tube slide wave over there, which is really cool. Shoots off the side of the ship. Love that. But as you can see, not a ton of space in the pool or around the pool, which can be frustrating, especially if you are here with your family and friends, you have kids, you love being in the pool. Not the best for that. Then we're gonna head into the buffet area, Surfside Cafe and Grill here. Again, this is a little bit of outdoor space that is covered and has some heaters here, which is really nice. And then we're gonna wind right into the buffet, which is the smallest buffet you will probably see on a cruise ship this large. It's a quick little walkthrough here. We'll take you through the buffet. Your drink stations, coffee, tea, juices, water, and milk all included in your cruise fare, not bottled water though. And then here are your food sections, and you'll see, like generally speaking, this would go all the way to the back of the ship and around on the other side. And on this one, there is just this space. You have 4 sections of food, 3 are hots, 1 is like desserts and other little things here, as you'll see. There's some cold cuts there, desserts at the end, and then you're done. It's gonna wind into the back where you have the little burger bar there. Another drink station here with Starbucks coffee that does cost extra and not included in your cruise fare. Quick little shot of the seating. and then right into your little Surfside grill here where they just have burgers and hot dogs and things like that. That's it. That's the entire buffet for the entire cruise ship. Then we wander out to where a lot of the fun things are, and this is kind of where I feel like I'm not sure who this ship is exactly for. You have this beautiful, elegant cruise ship, and then we come up here and it's very kidsy oriented, so I'm not sure exactly. I think Norwegian really dips their toes here and has a problem towing the line between if they're appealing to families, children, or adults. I wish they would kind of lean towards princess and celebrity, where it's, if you're gonna go elegant, have it be a really nice, elegant experience where kids are welcome, but there's not a ton of things for kids to do. But here there are some things for kids to do. You have these little footy soccer tables. You have these little beer pong things up here. Of course, it's not actually beer pong. You're just throwing the ping pong balls into cups. You have table tennis, pickleball courts. A lot of these things are fun. And of course, they are fun things for adults to do as well. We did all of these things. But it does appeal to having families and kids. You have this fun yellow ping pong table that's kind of on a circle, which is cool. You have shuffleboard over here. They're adding that stadium area to some other ships as well. This is one of the slides. It's called the Rush. It's a little slow, but it is fun. It goes all the way down to deck 8. So you're dropping just about 10 decks. We have the Prima Speedway bar back here. If you have friends and family that are going up to ride the racetrack, you can just grab a drink in the back of the ship here. The other of the dry slides called the Drop. That one's a drop slide, which is a little bit faster. Still a ton of fun out here on deck 18. And then we wind around and we're going to take a look at the mini golf. They are working currently on the mini golf course. It's usually an additional cost. It was free for us because a lot of these digital aspects were not working. None of them were working, let's be honest. So you just basically play mini golf, but a lot of them have these cool interactive elements. They just are not working at the moment. They are trying to fix them or progress on to something different. They have this awesome darts area where you can rent out these little darts lanes, which I actually love. I think this is a great idea. You can rent them out for 30 minutes. Doing a lot of work here as well. Just looks like they were continuing on some construction that they were doing while we were here. It's the Galaxy Pavilion. This is a VR arcade. I think this is a cool area, and these are all extra. You could pay for a pass in here, but everything's like 10 to 15 bucks. A lot of them are always broken. I think it's just I don't think that's any fault of NCL. I think it's just very difficult to keep up all of these things, especially at sea. And they require a lot of maintenance and upkeep, and I don't think this is the best idea. Again, I'm not sure who they're appealing to here, but it is expensive, and I kind of wish they would just use this space to make the observation lounge larger or to expand some other venues, make a cool little spot back here for something, but it is the Galaxy Pavilion at the moment. Then we have the observation lounge, just a beautiful space. On the Breakaway Plus class ships, on some of them, they have a 2-deck observation lounge, which is just stunning and beautiful. They've recently made it smaller on a lot of the ships, so it doesn't wind around quite as much. And they added more cabins. But here, this one is just 1 deck. It is a beautiful, beautiful space. It is very quiet during the day and the evening. They do have coffee, some snacks here during the day. in the evening. Sometimes they have some a little bit of a performance back here, mostly on the Breakaway Plus class ships and not these because there's not a ton of open space. But they do have drinks and a big bar back here in the evenings. I love this space. I do find that on a lot of the ships that have this space, since it's dark and quiet, it becomes kind of a hangout spot for teens. So it can get loud in the evenings, especially later in the night. Just something you want to be aware of, but it is a great space. And we'll walk you all the way around so you can see the amazing views. This is at the very front of the ship. So we are here in New York City and you get to see the amazing view out your observation lounge of New York. Plenty of options for seating if you have a large family or somebody you want to play some games or something. This is a great area to do that. Here's the very large bar in the back, which gets a little fun and upbeat in the evenings. And then it winds all the way around. So it's basically the entire front of the ship there. You get these great sprawling views of wherever you're at or out in the middle of the ocean, which is also just amazing. I'm going to wander around quickly. I'm going to show you just a quick clip of the escape room. I don't want to give a lot away. There is an escape room on board the ship, so we'll just take a quick glance at that, and then we shall head up to the racetrack. On a lot of the newer ships, whether it's Breakaway Plus or some of these Prima class ships, there is a racetrack. On the Breakaway Plus class ships, it is a 2-deck racetrack. On Prima and Viva is a 3-deck racetrack. I'm torn here. I love the racetrack. I think it's a ton of fun. I think it's something you will do once or twice. It is 15 bucks. It's about 10 laps that you get to do. I really enjoy it. I think it's amazing. However, what I will say is that it takes up an enormous amount of space on the cruise ship. And for what it is, I would probably prefer just a bunch of larger spaces or other things. However, I do think it's really, really fun and it's interesting and it's something that becomes an attraction on the ship. So I get why it's there. On the brand new Aqua, there is an Aqua coaster that takes up this space, which is really cool as well. So they are kind of adapting and moving things and trying new things moving forward. But I do think it's great. I just think it's huge and it does take up a giant footprint on the ship. That is our tour. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or need any help with the Norwegian Prima, please feel free to reach out and let us know. Thanks so much. Happy cruising and have a wonderful day.